Hello friends and welcome back to my channel for another episode of Summer of Stories. Today's episode X, which as you could probably imagine I struggled with a bit. If you do head over to my blog for the free printable, know that it was very hard for me to come up with those few story ideas that begin with X, but depending on your life you might have more things that relate to the letter X than the ones I put in the stories. So go get that free download and then fill it out with your ideas as well, so that way it's custom to you and you can always keep those as a reference for what you want to scrapbook about next. Now today I'm scrapbooking a photo of my cats, and I'm going with the theme of XOXO, so you know, just cute hugs and kisses. And I'm using this stamp set from Pink Fresh Studio, which is called Lorena Alphabet. And I'm just going to use some VersaFine black ink on this background paper, which is from DCWV's Blush Collection, just a nice light pink stripe. And I'm just going to stamp these two letters across the background, so kind of creating my own background in a way, but kind of keeping it not too crazy and not too many. I wanted a simple, light touch of the XOXO. I thought about stamping them separately, you know, so I could get them closer, or if they should be further apart so I could stamp them together, and I preferred the look of stamping them at the same time but pretty close together, just not touching. So depending on what you like, you'll be able to choose whatever you'd like. So here I'm just going to start stamping. Now, when I'm doing stamped backgrounds, I tend to already know where I'm going to place the photo, or generally what the design of the page is going to be. For this one, I thought I might want to put the photo in the middle. It's just a 4x6 photo. I know I want a lot of paper layers because I have a lot of paper layer scraps here. So I figured that would be a good way to use some of those up, and it could just sit in the middle of the page and it would work out nicely that way. So as I'm stamping my background, I did put my hand into my ink there, but if you just clean off your desk, it won't be a problem. I had a very messy desk at this point. I was filming a ton of videos, but I hope you guys like this idea of stamping a background. Now, originally I did not think I was doing a design, but if you look here at the end, I pretty much did exactly that. I did a design, and they're sort of diagonal stripes, which does look random to the eye because we don't often look in an up to left, bottom left to upper right motion, but you can kind of tell there that they kind of do align in that sort of pattern. So if you're looking to do some sort of stamp background like this with any sort of stamp, try out some sort of method like this, and you might like the way it looks because it looks random, but it's not. So that way you do have control, but not, you know, it's not overwhelming. During this episode, you might see my hands moving around a lot more, and that's because this is a real-time process video for my patrons this week. So if you guys have not checked out my Patreon, go ahead and check it out in the link down below, or you can sign up however you'd like. If you'd like to join us there to get more content, I would love that. Our other patrons would love that, to have you join, and we'll talk to you in the chat, and we'll give you real-time process videos and all sorts of fun. So here I'm actually going to grab some mixed media. I grabbed my Heidi Swap Gold Color Shine because I'm using some gold foiled items. I figured gold would be a great item to bring in. And then I also have the floral stencil I put in my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit. And I'm going to do selective stenciling here, where I essentially stencil 1 or 2 or 3 of the images in the stencil into sort of like a cluster. So the way I wanted to do it was that these would sort of be the clusters for embellishment clusters, in the way that there wouldn't be many embellishments. It'd be maybe I'd add a sticker, or maybe I'd add a sequin, and that would be the cluster. So it's sort of like a flat cluster instead of a 2D or 3D cluster. But totally up to you what you guys do. I don't cluster all of these. It's more of a color impact and texture impact than it is a cluster impact, which you'll see at the end. And then here I'm going to fill in one more. And again, I'm varying how many flowers I fill in each time, 1 or 2 or 3. And then that one did leave a little bit of extra marks from the other flowers I had filled in, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to put the rest back into the bottle here and close that up. So after the mixed media dries, I will work back on the main page, but for now I'm going to work on my paper layers. Now, I did struggle with these a bit. If you guys know this paper pad, which I've used before, it's called the Blush Paper Pad from DCWV. And it is pretty much all exactly what you think it is. It's essentially all pink. And they're not too variant in pink. It's pretty similar pinks, which I don't mind. It's just a little harder to create varying layers. You could definitely ink the edges if you wanted some more definition between them. Here I'm just kind of throwing in some other patterns, so I have a black and white stripe in there from the Heidi Swapp Emerson Lane collection, just to give it more contrast, and then I'm throwing in the big gold foiled page there so I can get some more. So once I'm done with my scraps, I want to check out these cut aparts. There was this one with a heart that I thought about using, but I didn't like what it said. It was like crazy love stuff, and didn't really fit with what I wanted to put with this picture. And if you guys can't tell, those are my two cats, and they actually used to get on top of our, what would you call that? It's the headboard of the bed. They used to walk across that like a catwalk, and then they would, meet in the middle, and then Lily, the one on the left, gave kisses to Poppy, the one on the right. So I thought that was adorable. And it was a flash photo because it was nighttime, so we really didn't know what was happening until we took the photo, and then you could see what they were doing. So it's really fun. So while this is drying, I am looking through my embellishments here. So I have tabs from Illustrated Faith in my collection, or in my kit, and I wanted to use a bunch of those. I don't know why I've been on a tab kick lately. I don't know if it's because I bought them and now I feel like I have to use them like as soon as possible, use up the things you buy. I thought about using some of these stickers. So this sticker is from We Are Memory Keepers typecast collection, which I don't think they really carry anymore, especially these additional pieces. They still carry the typewriter some places and that stuff, but looking through my sticker sheets, I've pulled out some things that I thought would work well. This will end up being my title, Better Together. I think it's technically going to read XO, Better Together, just because that will make more sense, but I really, really liked how a lot of the things in my kit did have the same shade of pink in it, or they had a dark contrast, so either gold foil or black, so it worked really, really nicely in that this layout's sort of monochromatic, which I don't mean to do monochromatic layouts, guys. This just always happens. I don't know how, it just always does. But I'm going to start gluing everything down because I'm really liking the way it's turning out. So I have those tabs there at the top and the side, which will tuck in, to the paper layers depending on where. And again, mixing in those pinks and blacks and whites will help give it contrast and give it more interest, whereas just using pink would be a little bit boring for some people. And I think the one on the left there does say XOXO. And then I have one that says hearts, and then the black and white one also says XOXO. So we're really laying on the X's and O's on this page. And I just popped up the title on some foam adhesive. And I'm putting this little suite down here. This is from Paper House Productions, and I really like it. It adds some nice dimension, white on white, which is really, really fun. And if you guys have not tried that yet, I would highly recommend. It is just an easy way to get a little bit of interesting contrast without having to add too much color, is to do white on white, black on black, any color on any color. Here I'm going to grab some of these Jen Hadfield phrase stickers, and I like that they're a dark black but not super black, and I'm going to tuck some of those in around because I thought they were adorable, and I really like the sayings. But I didn't want to do too much else to this layout. I thought about doing some enamel dots, I thought about doing some epoxy stickers, or little puffy stickers. I did end up finding these. I didn't mean to, but I did. And these are just some puffy heart stickers, which are from a collection, but my friend Daisy sent them to me a while ago, and I'm using some more right now, which is really fun. And I'm also dipping into this Vintage Dowry sequin mix from Spiegelmom Scraps, which has this beautiful light pink and sort of iridescent white sequin in it that comes in a variety of sizes. So there's like a large circle, a medium, a small, and then there's like an ultra small. So I'm going to sprinkle those around and sort of use those as the main components for the clusters that I was talking about earlier. So accenting the mixed media with those, I think, is very helpful in a way, in that it helps your eye catch the light and then sort of move across the page to those similar little pieces. So now that those are glued down, here are the close-ups, guys. I hope you enjoyed episode X of Summer of Stories. We only have a couple episodes left, and I do hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to head over to the blog to get the free download. I know there's only a few on there, but X is hard, guys. But thank you guys so, so much for watching. Again, I hope you enjoyed these close-ups and the process video itself. Don't forget to check out the blog and my Patreon if you are interested. And that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed again. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!